Welcome to the Loyal Opposition Podcast. I'm Bernie Flowers, one of Uncle Sam's wayward children. I believe that our country's best days are still in front of us, but if those best days are to come, we need to change the direction of the country now, before it's too late. I intend to talk about important issues and topics every week in hopes of helping to improve our country and our way of life. Please like, share, and subscribe. Our guest for episode 59 is Cathy Wright. Cathy is a Maryland NRA Institute for Legislative Action's frontline activist leader and a member of the NRA Board of Directors. She's also the Maryland State Rifle and Pistol Association Vice President for Legislative Affairs. She's a member of the Maryland Shall Issue group and a member of the Berwyn Rod Gun Club. She received the J.M. Littlefield Award as Volunteer of the Year for the NRA in 2016. Cathy is a former nurse. She has also served as Executive Director of State Medical Specialty Societies and has lobbied on behalf of the national and state healthcare initiatives in Maryland, VA, as in Virginia, and North Carolina since 1990. In addition, Cathy is the former chair of the Chatham County, North Carolina Republican Party, and she served as a regional vice president for the North Carolina Federation of Republican Women. She is a member of the Republican Women of Arundel County and an associate member of the Republican Women Leaders of Calvert County, and the Upper Montgomery Republican Women. Cathy completed the NRA Marksmanship Qualification Program, achieving Distinguished Expert in Pistol, and she is an NRA certified range safety officer. She has been married to Dr. John Wright for 51 years. She has 2 children and 7 grandchildren. Cathy also enjoys golf and ballroom dancing. Cathy, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, Bernie. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's always wonderful to hear the voice of a fellow Tar Heel. I'm from
Thank
Robeson
you.
County, and you're from Chatham County down there near Sanford and Pittsburgh and all that. Am I correct?
That's correct. That's correct. A little south of Chapel Hill.
There you go. Beautiful country. I love going down there.
Thank you.
So the bottom line is we're here to talk about the NRA, and I'll talk about North Carolina all day, but let's talk about the NRA. First of all, the National Rifle Association. What
Yes.
is the NRA Institute for Legislative Action?
The Institute for Legislative Action is the grassroots component, the political component of the NRA, and I'll call it ILA for Institute for Legislative Action because it's a mouthful. But first, I just want to tell you, do you know, or ask you, do you know how the NRA was formed, was established?
I do not. Please tell me.
Most people don't. Most people don't. In 1781, following the war between the states, the Union
1880.
1870, did I say 1780? 1871, the Union generals came to the Southern generals and said, our soldiers couldn't hit a broadside of the barn with their firearms. They wasted ammunition. They were unsafe. They shot each other. Can you teach us how to be good marksmen, good safe marksmen? So the National Rifle Association was formed at that time to teach safety and marksmanship, and that is still the mission to this day with over 170 programs. However, in 1975, the NRA established Institute for Legislative Action, ILA, and it's responsible for preserving the right for all law-abiding citizens to purchase, possess, and use firearms. And these are for legitimate purposes as guaranteed by the Second Amendment. So we're the grassroots network. We're comprised of volunteers who we stand ready to defend our Second Amendment rights.
Wow. I did not know that. And I'm glad that you illuminated me. You basically gave me some education today that I wasn't expecting. So that's pretty cool. So I got another
Good,
question
good.
for you. You ready?
Sure.
What do you do as Isla's Frontlines activist leader here in Maryland?
Okay, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's okay. We want to hear.
Okay, I call it guns, grassroots, and freedom. We need to be vigilant. We have to be active citizens. We cannot have a silent voice. So for me, it's all about education and advocacy. So I work to educate people about the Second Amendment. There's so much ignorance out there, so many misconceptions about the Second Amendment, in addition about firearms as well. The so-called AR-15, assault weapons, assault rifle, universal background check, all these issues, so many people don't know about them. So I educate people about Second Amendment issues. I will go around the state hosting NRA 2A days at gun stores so people can come and speak with me about these issues, sign up to receive our legislative alerts, and just become aware of all of the things that we do. I will host presentations like where I met you at North
Pause.
County Republican Club
There you go.
and at COGS, yes.
Yep.
And so I talk about what's happening in the state legislature, what's happening on the national level. I'll also, this is important, write letters to the media. Everybody thinks that if you send a letter to the editor or a letter to your local newspaper, that they don't pay any attention. Believe it or not, I've gotten some of my things published since moving here to Maryland 2 years ago. They want to hear from the other side, and I'm willing to do that.
There you go.
Legislators, do you know your legislators, people out there? Even if they're on the wrong side of the aisle, in my mind, it's important to get to know your legislators because you need to develop a trusting relationship with them. So if there is an issue that comes up, they'll turn to you and say, what do you think about this? Or you can contact your legislators and say, listen, Delegate Smith, I don't support this. Would you please consider not voting for it? And it works. It really does work. It's difficult in Maryland, I admit, but it's worth trying. And then I also promote Isla on social media. I have a Facebook page. I know I have beautiful, talented, intelligent grandchildren, and I'm a good cook, but I don't do any of that on Facebook. I only talk about Second Amendment issues, and people should follow me and they should share the information that I post on my Facebook, and people should do the same as well.
There
So
you
that's
go.
me in a nutshell.
I like it. I like it a lot. Got another question for you. You
Okay.
ready?
Uh-huh.
So we're moving into election season. What are your goals and what can we do to help you?
Oh, yes. I think the most important thing for you to do right now, as we're coming into the summer season, is folks need to get educated about the Second Amendment issues. And that's important so they can educate their family, their friends, their neighbors, and other gun owners who are not good about going to vote. They need to know what's at stake here. So it's incumbent upon you to educate yourself and then educate those folks. You need to identify these people who might have an interest but don't quite know what to do and get them involved. Best thing is they'll get to work with me, and we always have a lot of fun. So
There
get them involved as well. Become a frontline activist, volunteer. like me, that's how I started out. You can go on to the NRA's website, NRA ILA, Frontlines, and volunteer and sign up, and you'll start to receive legislative alerts. And I'll be able to work with you during the election season. And the most important thing is to get out the vote. Unfortunately, as President Trump said in Dallas last week, that gun owners are not good voters. We need to make sure that they get to the polls. Very often, I will speak to organizations such as gun clubs and kind of sit there like this, and I say, I know what you're thinking. No one's going to take my guns. That's not true. They're coming for your guns, and if you don't vote, they might be successful. So get out the vote is the most important thing to do this election season. And there's great ways for folks to work with me on get out the vote efforts. If they want to get in touch with me, I'll put you to work. Fun work.
That's good. That's good. And to tell you the truth, that is why we're having you on the program, because people got to wake up. You sit back and be apathetic, and next thing you know, they'll be taking your guns away. And I'm against that. So you know where I stand. So with that said, Cathy, the floor is now yours. You say whatever you will to the people.
Thank you so far to Maryland for greeting me with open arms. I've met a lot of great people as I've made my way around the state. Call on us to help you in your efforts to educate your friends, your neighbors, your family, your club members about the Second Amendment. I'll go anywhere to talk with any group about protecting our Second Amendment. And then, of course, most importantly, this is a very important election. I know we say that over and over again, but please get out and vote. I'll help you with the get out the vote efforts, and it will be great results.
Outstanding. Cathy, how can people reach you if they need you specifically?
Okay. My email address, is that something I should share with you? Okay, it's Cathy Wright, CathyWrightNRA
There you go. That's perfect.
Okay.
I am honored to have you on the program. Like I said, when I met you and I noticed that North Carolina twang that only Tar Heels know, I knew we were going to be fast friends.
Very good.
You take care of yourself. You're
Okay.
doing great service to our country. We got to fight this anti-2A stuff. And you tell all those people over at the NRA that I'm pulling for. Okay?
Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right.
Bernie. This has been great.
It's been awesome. You take care of
God bless.
yourself, and we'll get you back on the program sometime soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, that's about it for now. This has been the Loyal Opposition Podcast, produced in association with Liberty Arise Media, Fallback Productions, and other podcasters. I ask that you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast and to this channel. Be sure to get your copy of my book, Black Values Matter, available on Amazon or as an ebook on Audible or on Apple Books. And also, remember, it's okay to disagree. But if we want our country to prosper, we must insist on unity, transparency, and civility from ourselves and our fellow citizens. Thank you for listening to the Loyal Opposition Podcast. See you next week.